Number two, if you want to have a beautiful business online, understand the power of daily growth adding up fast. This is in direct contrast to an emphasis on scaling. I see and have been obsessed for most of my business with scaling. How do I scale my business? How do I go from $10 a month to 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 to a million? How do I scale it? I want to scale. And usually scaling is based on instant gratification. I want to do something today that'll instantly scale and be up to the next level tomorrow or the next week. And what often gets lost is the power of daily growth. For example, in investing, you don't need to make huge returns investing to make a lot of money. You need your money to consistently make a little bit more money each year, and it will add up to a lot very quickly. This is the power of compounding. What I'm going to do is show you an example of this using the calculator right now. So you might think that a little bit of growth isn't a big deal. So when I started my business, I had a very hard time even making $100 in my business. And then I didn't want to make 200, I wanted to go straight to 1,000. And as soon as I'd made 1,000 in 1 month, I wanted to go to 10,000. And as soon as I made 10,000 a month, I wanted to get up to 25,000 and up to 100,000. And I've had months where I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales now, where I've earned $80,000, $90,000 in 1 month. And you know what I've learned? Stop scaling, stop going after that huge growth, and start doing consistent growth. For example, my business in the last few months has made about let's call it $5,000 profit. It's slightly more than that. Let's call it $5,000 in profit. Now, you might think, well, you want to aim for $10,000 a month. Hit $10,000 a month. See how fast you can hit that. Well, that actually doesn't work very good, because often what I need to do to hit $10,000 a month is go to $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and $9,000 first. So what I've been tempted to do and messed my business up a lot is tried to jump straight from 5 to 10 without taking the steps in between. And that often involves taking and doing things that end up later causing problems. Like, for example, all the things I did up to 80, 90,000, 100, 200,000 a month, those things ended up bringing the whole system crashing down. And what you don't want to do in your business is bring the whole system down. Now, while if you're making music or production, you're doing theater or opera, then yes, you might want to bring the house down then. But for your business, you don't want to bring the house down. How do I know? I've brought the house down a bunch of times. I've had some amazing things set up and brought the house down repeatedly. So let's look at a simple example of how daily growth matters. So what I try and do on my business is add a little bit of value every day to make some slight improvements every day. So for simplicity, let's call this a 1% improvement or growth in my business on a daily basis. For example, I believe doing this tutorial video is worth about $1,000 for my business based on the data I've had before over the last several years. So I try and do one of these every day, even though I don't get the $1,000 right away. Over time, it snowballs, and the more of these I have, the more it snowballs. So check this out. If you have a business, can you make it 1% better every day? Can you add 1% to it? Just fix or improve a little bit on your business every single day. You might say, well, that stinks. It's going to take forever to get to a good income. So let me show you what it looks like for me to make a 1% improvement on my business every day. So let's look at that in my profit. So I'll go $5,000 and we're going to multiply by 1.01. That's a 1% addition to my business. So when I multiply that, that's $5,050. So the point is today, can I do some work that'll give me a 1% business improvement? So you might think, okay, that's not worth very much. Well, I'll do that the next day and it's up to $100. It's up to $5,100. Do that for a week at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I've made a noticeable improvement to my business in just a week. I've almost improved it close to 10%. So let's do that for another week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 2 weeks, I've now got my business up on a 10% improvement. And every day I just try and make a little 1% improvement. So let's go 2 more weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now look how much faster this is getting bigger. And this is called the power of compounding. Consistently adding value and improving your business or whatever you want to do in life, 1% each day adds massive value over the long term, gigantic value over the long term. This is 28 days of 1% per day improvement. And that's an additional $1,500 a month. And that's about what my December profit is. After making $5,000 for several months in a row, I focused on this month to make some consistent 1% improvements to my existing business. And now I've got around $6,000 in profit this month. And then, so let's look at this over another 30 days. The reason I suggest this is because looking at going from $5,000 to $10,000 a month, from $500 to $1,000 a month, from $10,000 to $20,000, these seem like big goals. But if you look at it, make a 1% improvement to your business every day. That doesn't seem like much, does it? You could change a couple of pages on your website, throw up another video course or something, and that's a 1% improvement to your existing business. So let's look at this over another, let's put 30 days on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And let's just count 15 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There, and in 2 months, the growth is up to $8,900 a month in profit. Again, with a really simple daily objective to just keep compounding on the 1%. See what happens when you make a 1% improvement one day and you make a 1% improvement on that 1% improvement from the day before, and you keep doing that over and over, it adds up fast. So this way, in just 2 months, I don't have to take any big step in my business. I keep making little improvements and the numbers add up ridiculously fast. And then I don't set any more of these goals. I don't set a goal that I need to get to $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month. I set a goal to improve my business 1% every day, to make a little adjustment every day to my business that helps make it better. So let's do 30 more days of this. I'll just approximate. Well, that whole example goes down if you approximate. So I'll just keep going forward. Look how fast, one day at a time, the income continues to grow. When you do this, you see these 1% changes keep adding up faster and faster and faster now. And before you know what's happened, your income has went from $5,000 a month, or for me, this is what I expect in my business. My income I don't have to set big income goals. I keep making a 1% improvement to my business every day, and look how fast the income goes up. This is just one day at a time here, and you see, after doing this for months, the income is approaching and exceeding then $100,000 a month. And that's within a year, and that's just making little 1% improvements to your business. Now, the problem is if you do this a different way and you try and take giant leaps forward, what will happen? You will do a bunch one day, you'll get disappointed, and you won't make any improvement in your business for a month. How do I know? I've done it so many times, so many different ways. And I am excited to share even more about this with you, to show you some of these other things that when you put all of these things together, you make an amazing business online. And the bigger you make your business, the more a little bit of difference adds up. So see a 1% growth, a 1% improvement when you're at $100,000 a month. In a very short time, you're over $200,000 a month. So even if you're just starting and you're just making your first $100 a month, you can do the same thing, and all of these same processes get rolling. Now, of course, the less you've got going, the faster you can make improvements. So if you're making $100 a month, you can probably make something. If you're making $100 a month, I'd have to say you could probably multiply that. You could probably make a 5% improvement on your business every day at $100 a month. And within a month or two, you should be able to be at $1,000 or so a month, making 5% improvements. So I hope this is useful for you. I hope explaining and showing you how fast a little bit of daily growth adds up will give you a simple way to aim for consistent progress and improvement each day rather than aiming for big goals and objectives.